We were working on Jimmy's final album. We didn't necessarily know it was his final album, but he might have known. But I gotta tell you, it's good. He worked so hard on this record, and Jimmy Buffett didn't have to prove anything about being a songwriter or a singer or an entertainer. He hadn't had to prove anything since 1971, but he did. He dug in and he worked really hard on this record. And I gotta brag on him a little bit. This song came about. We were doing a show for the Navy. We did a lot of charity shows. We were doing this one for the Navy, and Admiral Red Best from the Navy was sitting in playing harmonica. And after we finished the show, Admiral Best was feeling pretty good, and he told Jimmy, if there's ever anything we can do for you, you let me know. And Jimmy just grinned and he said, I'm gonna let you know right now what the Navy can do for me. He had this notion. He wanted to do this test that the Navy SEALs do, where they strap you into the cage of a helicopter, full gear, and drop you in 30 feet of water and simulate a helicopter crash. Jimmy's bucket list was different than mine, but that's what he wanted to do. And Admiral Best said, well, I'll fix it up if you want, but we're not gonna baby you. You gotta do it like we do it. And Jimmy said, that's what I want to do, but you gotta give me some advice. And Admiral Best said, well, when you get to the bottom of that water and you're all strapped in and you're gonna freak out, you're gonna wonder whether the straps will come loose and whether you can get the gear off, and then you're not gonna know where you are. When that happens, you should follow the bubbles. They will take you up where you need to go. Bubbles up. And think about that from a songwriting standpoint. I mean, that's really, really specific advice about a really, really more specific situation that none of us are probably ever going to be in. But Jimmy took that note and he wrote a song that applies to every one of us that's here this evening. That's the gift of a songwriter. He's a good one. I can't sing it as good as him, but I'm who you got tonight. This is Bubbles Up for you. When this world starts reeling from that pressure drop feeling, we're just treading water these days. There's a way to feel better, be well set to weather the storm till the sun shines again. When your compass is spinning and you're lost on the way, like a leaf in the wind, friend, hear me when I say, bubbles up, they will point you toward home. And no matter how deep and how far you roam, they will show you the surface, the plot and the purpose. So when the journey is long, just know that you are loved. There is light up above and joy. There's always enough. Bubbles up. To my friends who are jolly when melancholy knocks, sometimes they let her in to sit and share stories of flocks and the glories. It ain't half as bad. Sometimes living's a struggle, multiplied double, but we love it too much for the party to end. The bubbles up, they will point you toward home. No matter how deep and how far you roam, they will show you the surface, the plot and the purpose. So when the journey is long, just know that you are loved. There is light up above and joy. There's always enough. Bubbles up. So let's pop a cork for the rough and the right, and the bright blazing day, the sweet starlit night. point you toward home. No matter how deep and how far you roam, they will show you the surface, the plot and the purpose. So when the journey is long, just know that you are loved. There is light up above and joy, there's always enough. Bubbles up, bubbles up, bubbles up. 76-year-old man wrote that song. That's a role model.